Hello there! My name is Tanner, and I'd like to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Look at this! I'm back in my studio, also known as my room, and it is rather hot and humid up here, which is why I am currently wearing this tank top. I also want to point out that my cat is sleeping on my bed, so if you hear any weird snoring noises, it's probably coming from there. Anyway, I'm of course going to be continuing Eros and Psyche. However, if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, I would recommend going over there and seeing them. I'll put the link in the cards and in the description down below. Go ahead and watch them. I'll wait for you. Oh, you're back? Alright, perfect. Without further ado, here is part 3 of my interpretation of the story of Eros and Psyche. Psyche wandered the world looking to find her lost love. One thing she decided to do first is take revenge on the sisters who ruined her marriage. She visited each sister in turn, and she convinced them that her husband, Eros, left her and would marry the sister instead. The sisters, who were fully convinced, found the cliff that she was on and leapt off. However, as Zephyrus was no longer there, they plummeted to their rather messy end. Satisfied, Psyche kept wandering. After some time, she came upon an old and abandoned temple to Hera, queen of Olympus. The temple was in shambles, with dust and dirt everywhere, and there was also a complete lack of attendance. This will not do at all, Psyche said to herself. She set to work at once, sweeping away all the dust and the dirt, and restoring the temple to its former glory. At the end of the day, she lit some incense, and laid a bowl on the altar, filling it with some barley cakes she had on hand. It wasn't much, but to Psyche's surprise, she heard a voice. Psyche, the voice said, I thank you for cleaning my temple. The voice sounded both regal and queenly, and yet gentle and motherly, and Psyche knew that it was Hera herself. While I cannot interfere with your mother-in-law, I will help you in any way that I can. Thank you, Queen Hera, Psyche said, and laid down her head and slept in the temple that night. After a few more days' journey, Psyche came upon another temple, this time to Demeter, goddess of the harvest. Just like the last temple, it was abandoned, and the whole temple was a mess, with weeds and vines growing completely unchecked, including all over the altar. Just like with the last temple, Psyche just couldn't stand having such a sacred place being in such shambles, so she set to work cleaning it. After the temple was restored and all the plants and vines cleared, she took out some fruits and laid them on the altar. It was then that she heard a voice. I thank you, Psyche, said the voice, which rippled through the temple as a wind moves through fields of grain. Psyche immediately knew that the voice was Demeter herself. I will also help you as much as I can, though, like my sister, I cannot directly interfere with your mother-in-law's plans. Thank you, Demeter, Psyche replied, and just like the last temple, she laid her head down and slept there for the night. A few days' journey later, Psyche came upon a third abandoned temple, this time to Athena, the gray-eyed goddess of wisdom and strategy. This temple was especially shabby, and cobwebs hung everywhere, even off of the statue of Athena. Just like with the other two, Psyche cleaned and tidied up this temple as best as a pregnant woman could. Then, when she was done, she laid a few olives on the altar at the statue's feet. Psyche, said Athena's voice, strong yet gentle, and seemingly coming from the statue itself, for your service to this temple, I too shall help you with Aphrodite as much as I can, though, like my aunt and my stepmother, I cannot completely interfere. Psyche said thanks to Athena, then laid down to rest like the last time. After a final couple of days, Psyche came upon a temple of Aphrodite herself. And this temple was even worse off than the other three. As pious as she was, Psyche cleaned and polished and dusted as much as she could. Then she set out a few leaves of lettuce, a couple apples, and some roses on the altar, kneeled down, and called out to Aphrodite. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, I kneel before you humbled, and I ask you, no, I beg you, what must I do to win back my husband? No sooner had she asked this question, Then Aphrodite appeared in a shower of rose petals, her golden hair in ringlets, her brown eyes flashing with anger, and her white dress billowing around her. Psyche, you who were worshipped as if you were more beautiful than me, who betrayed my son and injured him, you are to do 4 tasks for me. Only after the 4th task is complete will you win back my son as your husband. Very well. What must I do? Psyche asked, and Aphrodite replied with 3 simple words. Come with me. And there we have it. That was part 3 of Eros and Psyche's story. What a cliffhanger, huh? If you like this video and you want more, please give this video a like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any new videos. Also, if there are any other stories you want to hear in future videos, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below and it might just happen. Alright, well that's all the time I have for this video, so I'll see you all next week with Eros and Psyche Part 4. See you then!